Hello, Sharon Durbin Graves, Painting with Acrylics 101.com, here in my studio, and I just wanted to talk to you about a question that I am asked a lot. People will say, am I an artist? And I was trying to think of an answer that would be correct. And so I got on the computer right over there and I typed in artist in the dictionary app. And so it came up with a number of things. I'm not going to tell you if you are or are not an artist, but I think by the end of this video, you'll know, okay? All right, so one of the things it says was, an artist is a person who produces works in any of the arts that are primarily subject to aesthetic criteria. Okay, so if you produce work that are mainly aesthetic, you might be an artist. An artist is a person who practices one of the fine arts, especially a painter or a sculptor. Now, I know that there's probably a lot of jewelry makers or fiber artists or things out there going, wait a minute, I'm an artist. And I agree, you are artists. I'm just telling you what the dictionary said, okay? All right. An artist is a person whose trade or profession requires a knowledge of design, drawing, painting, etc., like a commercial artist. Or would you put into that same category an architect? By that definition, absolutely. What else would fit into that definition? A person whose trade or profession requires a knowledge of design, drawing, painting, etc. Okay, so design. I was a florist for 35 years. I'm a certified trained florist, and design is huge. And there are some people who are just much better at it than others. And so I think that that's an element of art as well. An artist is a person who works in one of the performing arts. So if you are a singer or a musician or a dancer or an actor, you are an artist. An artist is a person whose work exhibits exceptional skill. And I love that word skill, because I tell people all the time that art is a skill, that it is not as much talent as it is skill. Now, having said that, I honestly believe that the more you practice, the more you work at it, the more you learn, the more you study, the more you improve, then your talent can come out. And you'll stop looking at other work and trying to imitate that, but you'll have your own ideas of how to create something like that, or in a different way. Okay, so then I looked at the word craftsman. There weren't nearly as many definitions under the word craftsman, but it was an interesting realization. A craftsman is a person who practices or is highly skilled in a craft. An artisan, an artist. So when you think about highly skilled in a craft, I have a friend who is highly skilled in paper mache and kind of sculpture, and he is totally an artist. My brother is a craftsman in the building trades, and in many areas he is an artist. So even though his training is in sheet metal, creating ductwork and things for air conditioning units in commercial settings and the like, he is extremely talented in carpentry and woodworking and things like that. And there are tons of artists in that. I think that's a total art. And so then I looked at the word hobby. I was trying to look up the word hobbyist, but dictionary.com didn't have it. But they had a hobby. So hobby is an activity or interest pursued for pleasure or relaxation and not as a main occupation. So I've had many hobbies over the years. I used to love, when I was a kid and as a young married woman, a young mother, I used to sew a lot. I sewed my own kids' clothes. I sewed my clothes. I used to love to sew. I've done, if you can do it with a needle and thread, I've probably done it. Cross stitch, crochet, knitting, all those kinds of fiber art things. I've done those. I never, I don't think I was a crafts person in that I love to make baby quilts and all sorts of things like that. I am as I said, a professionally trained florist. So, and that was my job for years. So in that, I have to say I'm an artist in that. I totally understand it. It makes perfect sense to me, and I use a lot of the skills, a lot of the vision part in my business as an artist. But I have to say that nothing has ever lit me up. I used to think that the floral industry was it for me until I started painting, and nothing has lit me up like that. I love painting. I love seeing something come alive. I love seeing something gain a 3D look. I love seeing what the paint can do, what brushes can do, what I can make them do. I love all of that. So, are you an artist? Where did you fall in what I just read? The definition of an artist, a craftsman, or a hobbyist. And there's nothing wrong with any of them. If you paint in a craft kind of style, there's absolutely nothing wrong with it. I did that for years. And I still create things crafty like. So there is nothing at all wrong with that. Artists, I think it becomes art. I don't know when it becomes art. I don't know when. I really like the one definition here. Let's see. A person about who is exceptionally, a person whose work exhibits exceptional skill. That's, to me, when it becomes art. When you're not just creating something that has a shape but no form, where it's sort of flat or dull looking, but when you can create work that exhibits exceptional skill, now you're getting on the art train. And I think that is a wonderful place to be. But I'm not going to argue with anybody. If you think you're an artist, by George. And don't let anybody else tell you that you're not. There are many, many artists out there who are hiding in the shadows, who don't want to actually use that word, who are afraid of that word. Oh, well, maybe I'm not. I'm probably not good enough to be an artist. Well, you can be, and you can practice, and you can get better. Creating art is a skill, and we just heard that here. And as you get better, you will produce more and more better work, more artistic work, more in the crafts, journeyman work. In the building trades, if you're an apprentice, and then you work through an apprentice, and then you finally, your goal is to become a journeyman. And so a journeyman artist is pretty darn super. And while I may never make it all the way to the top, I'm having a heck of a great time along the way. I'm learning a boatload of stuff. I'm trying to share everything I learn, and I hope that you are too. So anyway, my name is Sharon Durbin Graves. PaintingWithAcrylics101.com is my website. It's created specifically for beginning artists. So there's a free blog on there. I don't know, 35, 38, 39 posts, all created especially and specifically for beginning artists. There's classes on there as well. I hope that you're going to hop on there. If you've enjoyed this video, You know what to do. Give me a thumbs up. Give me a break. Subscribe to my channel. Share it with somebody you think might enjoy it. Have a great day. Let's paint together soon. Hello. Sharon Durbin Graves, Painting with Acrylics 101.com in beautiful Pee Wee Valley, Kentucky, talking to you about a free offer I have. I'm going to have a free 10-day beginning painter boot camp. And I want you, if you want to learn to paint, I want to get you in that group and learning to paint immediately. Okay, so it's going to be in the link. It will be a Facebook group. All you have to do is sign up and join. Show up. It's completely free. So let's get started. Let's paint together real soon.